Let us think about that it might be useful to check the plan of a large language model before it actually works on the task you set out to be accomplished. So let's have a simple example here. Can you help me create a fun retrospective? Team is really working well, everyone is content, performance is good, the team stakeholders are really fine and are content with the team's performance. And actually, there's nothing that requires immediate attention. So I want to structure the retrospective as a general reflection on how the team is working. Well, maybe it's a moment to celebrate ourselves for working so well together. And I need a few suggestions on how I could organize this. Now, this is not the interesting part. This is actually my pitch to you that you should consider to use for most of your prompting, particularly when it's important, that you ask the model to lay out a plan and that you check the plan before actually the plan is executed, because it helps to avoid the model run off into the wrong direction. So do you understand the task, or do you need more information or context to support your efforts? Very simple. We don't know whether this is the setup is the context, the level of context is sufficient, right? Or shall we provide an Excel file with team performance data? I don't know. Be ruthless and use radical candor when pointing out the flaws in my thinking. Help me improve at whatever I do. That's the point here, right? I'm asking for help. I'm not asking for a pat on my shoulders and tell me what a great guy I am, right? This is not. I want to improve the way I work, the way I approach problems, and I'm asking for your help here. And checks, identify missing informations. Okay, that's repetitive, but it helps at that point. Only ask essential questions. Yeah, because we do not want to have a conversation for the next 30 minutes on this. And do not start your work until I provide you with a go. So let's see what's going to happen here. This is a relatively simple prompt, and the effort is not really big, and you can easily just start over with a new chat. But now imagine that you're running a deep research report or something like that. This is a bit of problematic, right? You want to check that the model is doing the right thing before we do. Can it push back? You know better than most that everything is going great. Let's celebrate is one of the most dangerous mindsets to bring to a retrospective. A few things concern me. Gosh, I love this thing. First, the framing essentially predetermines the outcome. Second, high-performance teams are most vulnerable to complacency. Thirdly, a purely celebratory retro risks training the team that retrospectives are only useful when things are broken. And it wrote a habit of continuous improvement over time. My suggestion, design something that feels light and fun, but still has genuine diagnostic teeth. My goodness, this is better than expected, right? So how long is the time box? 190. Team size, 6. We are all co-located. 3. What's driving celebration impulse? Big successful release. And 4, how experienced is the team with retrospectives? Very. Okay, waiting for go. Okay, here it is. So now you can say that, it already came up with good questions. Just for these questions, I consider this to be already a useful session here. And here we go. 3 formats designed for feeling celebratory and light while still doing some real retrospective work. The director's commentary. Okay, you can check out those when you just access the link in the lesson notes. But I think I managed to explain the important issue to you. Check the plan before you actually have it executed. It is really a very helpful exercise. And as you can see, it's if you add a bit of radical candor, you also get good feedback and pushback, and it helps you grow over time by just creating better questions.